Yo, what is going on, guys? It is non-reality, and in today's video I'm bringing you a guide and a rotation on underground Gyfin, which is this one over here. It is a 300 AP and a 380 DP spot, but you can go lower. I'd recommend at the lowest, depending on class, I'd go around 285 and then 360 DP. Obviously it depends on class. Like on a Zerker, that's fine. On a Zerker, you can even go a bit lower if you really want to, but I only think the spot's really worth once you do start to get around this area. Right now I'm 296 and 376, and I can do this spot and make, a decent average silver per hour, depending on if I get the drops you're supposed to get per hour. So to start out on how to get to the spot, since it is a bit confusing, right click on the Southern Camasylvia thing and it will take you over to Lynette. And then from here, if you are facing this way towards Lynette, just go to your left. And we are going to go past this bridge over here. And then we are going to take the down ramp, not the up one, the down ramp, until you get to this little area to the right, which you can go. There's a little tower to the right. Keep going. You'll pass by some water on your left. Keep going. And then there is two gates. You're going to want to take this right gate over here. Now you are in the underground Gyfin area. And I'm going to get off my horse just to not die with it, just in case. But you're going to make your way where I'm going up here. It is a bit confusing, so I'm going to try to keep my camera as still as possible. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you get here every day or whenever you do grind is go into this area to the right and then keep going. Take this path over here and you'll come to a NPC. At this NPC, he will have two quests that you can grab. I already did them, but basically you kill some mobs and it'll give you 10 Caphras along with, these leaves if you do need them for the pot piece, and, some XP and some skill XP. So you can grab those two every day. They are dailies. And then from there, you kind of just pick whatever spot you like the most. Any spot will work because they all have the three mobs. Personally, I like the one that is over here. Right here, this is the one that I like. Mainly because you can just park all your stuff over here. You don't have to worry about getting hit because these mobs do actually have decent aggro range. Like this mob will follow me all the way over here. But if you park your horse in this corner, you can lay down your tent. Now for this spot, I recommend grabbing yourself tent buff. I'd recommend if you are a bit on the lower side, grabbing yourself church buffs before you come here, the DP and the AP one. I'd recommend grabbing yourself frenzy droughts. They are more expensive, but they do help a lot. They do minus DP, but that is completely fine. And then you're going to want to use just a simple cron meal. And then anything else that you have is just bonus. Make sure you have your alchemy stone on and whichever artifacts you have. If you have the Camasylvia artifacts, it's even better because you'll do more damage. Or I think it's Camasylvia. Yeah, Camasylvia artifacts with the Camasylvia lightstones would be even better. And then from there, what we're going to do and how this does work. So when you first go to kill the mobs, you won't have any sort of buffs at all. You're basically going to worry about the three main mobs. You have the red one here, the purple one over here, and then the blue one over here. I always start with the purple one just because it is the easiest one to kill off bat. So make sure you just back attack the whole time. You're going to watch out for the indicators and just dodge those. Every attack, or most of the attacks, do have indicators. If you are playing on lowest optimal, which is what I play on, sometimes the indicators don't show up if there is a ton of abilities going on, so just be careful and you'll have to learn the animations if you do play on lowest optimal. But most of the times they do show up. Now this first one does take a while to kill. I'm also just trying to be super safe because the first one does not have any sort of buff on until you do kill the first mob. Now that one, the only reason I almost died there is because he casts his insanely overpowered ability, but he doesn't do that if you do it correctly. Now, as you can see, I have this little prompt that is in red letters, and I also have a buff. This is Burning Rage's Hammer. Basically, whatever the buff color is, that's the one you were going to go to. So for red, I'm going to the red guy, start in the back, hit him. You can hit him as soon as he starts like doing an animation. You should be able to get him pretty low, and then when he goes to attack, just go behind him, hit him a bunch. Does another attack, go behind him, hit him a bunch. That's basically the main rule of thumb whenever you're fighting these mobs. Just keep going behind them and hitting them until they end up dying. Go behind him again and hit them. Now, obviously, this would be a lot faster if I had on all my buffs, but I don't want to waste them just for showing you guys this. Now, next up, we have the blue buff and the blue prompt. So we're going to go over to the blue mobs. go to their back, and we are going to start doing damage to them. Same thing with this one. As soon as you see an animation, just go to the other side of them. These small mobs will hit you unless you're being really careful, but if you're being super careful to the point where the small mobs don't hit you, then you probably won't be getting a ton of trash loot, and at that point it is not worth it. So if you can't tank at least the small mobs and regen health fast enough to be able to tank them, it's probably not a spot that is worth doing. So then from there we are back at purple, but this time we have a buff, so it will die a lot faster. You should only be able, each of the mobs should only do a minimum of like 1 to 2 abilities depending on which mob it is. Like this one here should only do 1. Now, like I said, I'm not buffed, so I'll probably do more than 1, but just go behind it. As you can see, there's no indicators that time because I am playing on lowest optimal. So the 2 other mechanics I do want to talk about is the despair mechanic and the butcher mechanic. Now these are basically 2 events that can happen, and if they don't happen while I'm explaining it, I will post clips at the end of it happening. So the despair mechanic is pretty simple. It'll just say like despair has fallen upon something or other, and that means that this mob has spawned. Once you kill the mob, a bunch of minions will spawn for a couple of minutes, and you want to basically get this event 3 to 4 times per hour, because that will be your cap on the amount of mobs that will be able to spawn with that event. And if you do get that, you will see a big increase in trash loot because it just spawns a ton of extra mobs that will come and follow you while you are killing the main ones. When they do spawn, just don't really focus on them. Just keep focusing on killing the main bosses, and they will die as you do damage to the main bosses because they will clump up a bunch. And then the second event is the butcher, which I actually just got. So the butcher spawns right here, and he will just be able to get hit right away. He'll do a little bit of an animation, just keep hitting him. And when he does this move right here, you just want to get out of the way. It does a decent amount of damage, but nothing too big to worry about. And then he has one other ability, which I want him to do, so I will hopefully not kill him before he does it. But he does really like that ability. I'm going to stop hitting him so he hopefully does the next ability. Come on. No, he just really wants to do that ability. Come on, you can do it. Do the other ability. There we go. He'll do this charge up ability, just get out of the way. If you do get hit by it, it does a lot of damage. It will do like 60% of my HP if I do get hit by it. Now, you'll see once I kill this boss, there will be a yellow buff that shows up. This basically means that I can kill every mob insanely fast. And when I do kill this mob, every mob will aggro to me. Boom, all the mobs are aggro. Kill the purple one first because he will do that giant ability that 3-shots you. So you got to make sure you kill him first. And then from there, just kill the blue and the red guy as you can without taking too much damage, but they will die super fast. After you kill all these mobs, you will still have the yellow buff. So just go to any mob you like, any mob that you think is easy, and just quickly kill it. Since you still have the buff, it will take a lot less or a lot more damage. So I'll be able to kill it before even the first ability comes off. And then from there, you're basically just going to restart. And I just want to quickly point out that since I did get the butcher, I'm not going to put a clip at the end of the despair because despair is super simple. A mob will spawn, you kill the mob, and it will spawn minions. Super simple. And that's basically it for how you do this spot. Now for trash loot and what you're going to hopefully be getting, the trash loot, I'd say anywhere between 10 to 14k is really good. When I first started this spot, I was getting about 9k, which was a bit low, and then I started learning how to do it. I actually changed up my add-ons. I put on more backtack, and it actually made me go up to around 11 to 12k on average. And if I really try hard and I really get all of the spares I need, I can get up to like 13, 14k. And then on top of that, you do want to try to get a decent amount of accuracies. You want 3 to 4, or at least 2 to 3. Let's be generous, 2 to 3 per hour. A lot of people will say you need 3 to 4. Now, when you do this spot, you're going to want to be using obviously your tent buff, any sort of other buffs you have. Try to get a highest percentage drop rate you can, because these will really come into play when you finish your silver. Like I said, you'll be getting about 12,000 on average of trash loot. You'll get around 80-ish Caphras, depending on how lucky you get, 80 to 90, maybe sometimes 70, which is a decent amount of Caphras. You'll get a decent amount of Ancient Spirit dust. And then hopefully you will get 2 to 3 of these acts. And then everything else is just a bonus. Sometimes you'll get Kragdala, and then you'll obviously get these as you kill stuff. But yeah, your trash loot and all your silver combined should come out to around, I would say anywhere between 700 to 900 mil, depending on how good or bad your hour is. If you do get lucky and you get 4 accessories, maybe you can get a 1 bill hour. But on average, I think you'll be getting around 700 to 800 mil silver. So I do hope that this video helped you guys get into the spot. And if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.